You have cleared UGC NET exam, you are thinking of taking admission for PhD, you know nothing about the process of UGC fellowship, what is the stipend, what are the different documents that you need to submit, or you are a student who is preparing for NET exam but are still confused as to after clearing NET exam how you will go about things. So today's video is for you. Today I will clear all your doubts regarding UGC fellowship from start till end, everything. After watching this video, I promise you won't have to go anywhere else to search for any kind of help. So what are we waiting for? Without further ado, let's begin. Now, what is UGC fellowship? UGC fellowship or UGC JRF is a kind of stipend that is given to research scholars once they have taken admission for PhD. So for that, you need to either clear UGC NET, okay, there are several disciplines, or you need to clear UGC CSIR NET. That is what I have cleared, and I'm getting fellowship from UGC. So if you clear UGC CSIR NET and whatever be your roll number of that particular exam, at our time what it used to happen was certain roll numbers were getting fellowship from UGC and certain roll numbers were getting fellowship from CSIR. That was the system at our end. These two exams if you clear, then most likely you will get fellowship from UGC. Okay, I'll do a separate video on CSIR fellowship and what is the difference between UGC and CSIR, but today's video I would focus mainly on UGC fellowship. Okay, I have done a separate video on NET JRF activation. To get the money in your account, the first thing that you will do after taking admission for PhD is sign a joining report. It looks something like this. You have to fill all the details and submit it. To fill the joining report, you need your award letter. Now, one thing I would like to say is your e-certificate that you download is not the same as award letter. Okay, e-certificate is a proof that you have cleared NET exam. So award letter is a proof that you have cleared JRF. So these two are different. E-certificate you can download then and there once your result is declared. Award letter you usually get it by post. Mine came after 1 month, but there are several students whose award letter came after 2 or 3 months. So you need to be on that lookout. In every institute where PhD programs are there, there is a particular cell or certain department which takes care of all fellowship related assistance or all that. So you might want to contact that. The total fellowship is for 5 years. Okay. The first 2 years are called as JRF. The next 3 years are called as SRF. Junior Research Fellow, Senior Research Fellow. In between the transition from JRF to SRF, there is an interview conducted and based on your progress, you are given an SRF. Mostly they give it, so that is not an issue. The whole money that you get per month is divided into 3 main categories: fellowship, HRA and contingency. So fellowship is for JRF, it is around 31,000, and for SRF I'll flash over here. As far as contingency is concerned, it is per year 10,000 is given, okay, and it's not given in one go. Usually what I have seen is the way I have got, it's given 3,000 for every 3 months. So 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, then 1,000. So it's given like that. As far as HRA is concerned, what is the exact amount and what is the percentage? That will depend on what kind of city you live in. So if it's a tier 2 city, it's different. It's tier 3, it's different. So it's different for different location. As far as Goa is concerned, we get HRA of around 5,000. HRA depends on whether you stay in your college hostel or you stay outside. Stay outside meaning your own accommodation, whether it's your own home or rented or it's a separate thing. If it's a hostel, then you will get HRA corresponding to the hostel charge, and it does not include your mess, your electricity. Devoid that, you deduct all that, and whatever is the only hostel charge, you will get HRA in proportion to that. If you are staying outside the campus, then you will get HRA as per whatever is the norm in the city. Apart from joining letter that you give first, throughout your fellowship you have to give certain documents, and these documents include progress report, continuation letter, HRA report and contingency. I'll give the frequency of each in a tabular form on the screen. Okay. Progress reports look something like this, and it's given every few months. It includes whatever work you have done all these while and whatever tasks you have done as far as your research is concerned. For contingency, you have to attach all the bills. Now, whatever purchases you have made with respect to your research, with respect to stationery, so all that will go in contingency, and you have to submit proof. You cannot just say that this you have made an expenditure of this amount. You have to give an evidence for that this is the bill and you are giving this. HRA report will look something like this. Continuation letter is important because every 3 months you have to submit that you are still a fellow in this institute, okay, that you are still continuing your fellowship, and it's for them to know that you are studying over here. As far as this particular fellowship is concerned, you are entitled for a leave of 30 days in a year. There is no separate medical assistance or separate fund that is given. But if the institute you study in has some medical facilities, like we over here have medical insurance, so every year if you pay some, then your whatever medical emergencies that occur in campus, that gets taken care of. So if something like this is there from your institute side, then you can avail it. But from UGC side, there is no separate medical assistance. You are allowed to take maternity or paternity leave as per Government of India rules. Whatever leave you take, make sure that you have proper sanction for it, and your supervisor and whatever the stakeholders are there in your PhD, they sign it, okay, and it's submitted to UGC. If you are a women candidate, then you are allowed to take a break of 1 year maximum, okay, and this you can do it in one stretch or 3 times. It's also called as intermittent break. The good part is that this does not count towards your fellowship. So say suppose you are in your 2nd year and you decide to take 1 year break. So 1 year break, after that your fellowship will continue. But proper documentation and all have to be submitted. As I mentioned earlier, the fellowship duration is for 5 years. I don't see in the guidelines any provision for extension of fellowship. If during the research you are not comfortable with that institute or supervisor and you want to change the location, okay, I'm not saying just supervisor, change the institute altogether, then you can do it once in your entire fellowship. If you are thinking of resigning, then proper formalities need to be intimated to UGC, and I'm sure it should go through your supervisor, HOD, everything. Also, one thing to note is that you cannot take any other paid work during this particular fellowship. I know several students who actually do this for various reasons, and the fellowship is also not sufficient. But by rule, you are not supposed to do a full-time job when you are getting this fellowship, except if it's kind of leave of 1 year that I mentioned earlier. I hope you have found today's video useful. I have put a link to all the documents, the UGC links, in the description box below, so you might want to check. With that, I'll take your leave till the next video. Bye.